Well, hello all my ghouls and goblins and warlocks and Wiccans and unconventional conventionalists, just here to enjoy the ride. Welcome to the B-Rad TV Halloween Spooktacular special. You are in for a treat this evening because I, B-Rad, Bradley Bradders, will be taking you on a nerve-shredding, blood-curdling, spine-tingling journey down the ghoulish and macabre rabbit hole of the supernatural. But be warned, this journey is not for the faint of hearted. Those easily offended and those of a weak disposition, turn back now, for we will be exploring the nauseating, the gruesome, the terrifying horrors of this world. You will see things more horrible than you could ever imagine. Well, maybe not that horrible, but still pretty bad. There will be torturous tools and revolting remains and crypts and churches and visits to sites of recorded paranormal activity, actual ghost hunting with Count Bradula. So if disturbing demons and summoning spirits spooks you out, you should probably switch this program off now, because once we begin, there is no escape. Ho ho ho! That's the wrong holiday, because once we begin, there is no escape. Ha ha ha! Spiders! We begin our journey at the Victor Wynne Museum of Curiosities and Unnatural History. Behind this unassuming shopfront, you might mistake for some sort of hippie or vintage shop, is London's most mysterious and eerie museum, housing artefacts from the horrifying to the mundane, from the rare to the beautiful, dodo bird bones to vintage Happy Meal toys, the priceless to the peculiar. In their own words, trinkets and treasures that mirror a world so suffused with miracles and beauty that any attempt at categorization is bound to fail. The museum hopes to fill the vacuum between what the establishment elite believes is worthy of worship and what exists in the world. Let's get curious and unnatural. What on earth? There is so much going on down here. I don't know where to begin. I am actually speechless. I can't describe what I'm seeing because I can't decide which thing I want to talk about yet. I'm just going to get stuck in and show you a few of these crazy, curious exhibits. That was a man's member. That's a shrunken head. That's a jar of moles. Plural. That's a jar of moles. There's a book there. When I die, will I get better? What is that? This in here is a chandelier of animal bones. There's taxidermy galore. Then in amongst the actual sort of horrific and horrifying bones, it's got stupid things. Smile if you had sex last night. Some book there, Eat Thy Neighbour. Really flicking it on its head. I mean, we've got a coconut crab looking after a speculum. I don't even know what to say here. I mean, it says touch me, but I don't want to. They've got a drawing by Charles Bronson, Britain's most violent prisoner. Signed. Got spiders and penis models and Bronson artwork. Oh my god, the whole cabinet's Bronson artwork. How did I clock that? It's not just one, there's a whole cabinet of Bronson artwork. It's like your brain doesn't know where to go if it's not confused or horrified with the human skulls and the bones. Then there's sex stuff and sex toys and nudity, to artwork, to taxidermy. Some things are real, some things are fake. Like, yeah, if you weren't nauseated already, it really puts you on your toes. You don't know what to think or feel. Not for the faint of hearted. I think the craziness and the exhibits speak for themselves. I think just having so much going on put together in a way that is unnatural. It is curious and unnatural. You definitely want to have a bottle of water and some fresh air after coming here. I've seen a Japanese spider crab with mosquitoes having a picnic on top of it. I've seen tarantulas riding a skull. I've seen fish people, squirrels singing opera. So I've travelled the world, I've been in a lot of galleries and a lot of museums. That is without a doubt the most unnatural museum I've ever been in. So this is the female Chucky costume, short shorts, crop top. Because no one was in need of sexualisation more than the murderous child's doll, which is worrying. Oh, so at least my tits can look good in it. How do those girls take all their sexy Halloween photos? Yeah, I'll probably show off my costume best. Let's talk Halloween movies. Movies to watch at Halloween. Now, could they be gruesome, scary, spooky, psychologically warped, disturbed? It's just such a big topic, and I couldn't really pick a top 5. I think I whittled it down to 5 of my favourites, but then I've got a whole load of honourable mentions as well. Let's get stuck right in. These aren't in any particular order, but let's go. Number 1, Freddy vs. Jason. Before the dawn of Marvel crossovers and things like that, at the coming to the end of the original runs of like Nightmare on Elm Street and the Jason films came Freddy vs. Jason. It's so over the top, it is so camp, it is so popcorn and brilliant. It's not scary at all, but it is wonderful Halloween cinema. Freddy, the classic Robert Englund and Jason going head to head in an actual watchable movie with practical special effects, not CGI pants. Freddy is just on form. The story and the script is perfect. It looks beautiful. Check it out, Freddy vs. Jason. You will not regret it. Next, I'm going to go with a franchise you've heard of, and that is Saw. But I'm only going to say Saw 1. It is not gruesome really at all. I feel like the others, like number 3 onwards, they turned into just gross out. How gross can we make the traps? How nauseating can we make the blood and gore in the cinema for people? But number 1 is just a brilliant psychological thriller. I don't even call it a horror. Like, I showed it to my girlfriend, who's not a big horror movie fan, and we enjoyed it. Like that twist, well, the twist, whatever. The first time I remember watching it, I can remember I was with my sister and her friend. I wasn't old enough to be watching it. We had chips from the local fish and chip shop, and it was a roller coaster. And I bloody loved it, and I wish I could watch Saw 1 again for the first time. Tobin Bell, well, everyone in the film, everybody in that film, everything about it is perfect. I wouldn't change a single thing about Saw 1. I might rewatch that after I finish shooting this, actually. Saw 1, brilliant. I feel like I might annoy some people with this one, but I don't really care because I love it. Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead remake. It is brilliant. So many zombie films, they're like lower budget and people trying to make do. Then there's just this polished, beautiful looking, high budget studio zombie movie in a mall. It's got all the stereotypes, all the cliches, good practical effects which we love, acting's on point, camera and cinematography is perfect. It does what it says on the tin and then some. If you want to watch a brilliant zombie movie, Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead. It's great, it looks great, he did a really good job, I love it. Dawn of the Dead. Now one that I think a few people wouldn't have watched, maybe just because of the DVD case it comes in and the name of it, but House of a Thousand Corpses by Rob Zombie. I mean, it's not even proper horror scary, like it's got some bits that people with a weak stomach might not like, but it's not jump out your seat scary, it's not even that psychologically scary, it is just over the top horror, gothic, gruesome-ish madness, and everyone involved in it is giving it their all. The colours, the sounds, the look, everything about it is brilliant. I mean, I think people miss out, like they see House of a Thousand Corpses, they think it's going to be really terrible and awful. It is like a weird piece of video art, and it's part of a trilogy. It's got, I think, The Devil's Rejects and then 3 from Hell next, which are also bloody brilliant movies. So if you haven't seen it, House of a Thousand Corpses, check it out, you will not regret it. Rob Zombie, and then The Devil's Rejects and 3 from Hell. There's 3 movies there, but House of a Thousand Corpses. And I would say the number 1 spot, or number 5 spot, the best spot in my top 5, and this movie did actually scare the shit out of me when I first watched it. It was at night time, it was late, again, not old enough to be watching it, with a couple of friends. We thought it was like a sci-fi space film. We thought it was like Star Wars, but a bit more grown up. It was not. Event Horizon. I don't want to spoil it and say like it's a horror movie, but if you go in, there's a few kids thinking you're watching Star Wars or Star Trek. It changes pretty bloody quickly. Lawrence Fishburne, Jason Isaacs. It is outstanding. It's got a bit of a cult following. There's rumours about 25 minutes of deleted scenes that were so horrifying they had to cut them, and then that burned down in a warehouse or something and the footage was lost forever. It sort of inspired the video game's Dead Space a little bit with the atmosphere and the look of the ship and the look of some of the things. So if you like Dead Space, well, I'm sure you've heard of Event Horizon if you like the video game's Dead Space, but Event Horizon, sci-fi, I don't want to say horror, it's just a sci-fi, lovely relaxing space movie for you. Event Horizon, check it out. I've just got some honourable mentions here for Halloween and spooky films. The Nightmare Before Christmas, absolute classic, brilliant movie. People say, oh, but isn't that a Christmas movie? When do we watch it? Do we watch it Halloween or do we watch it at Christmas? Both is the answer. And then Ghostbusters 1 and 2. I'm not even going to say anything else. If you haven't seen them, see them. But Ghostbusters 1 and 2. The original Addams Family and Addams Family Values, the second one. Brilliant Halloween movies. The original Hocus Pocus. A lot of these, I hope you can tell, these are movies I grew up with. So they're sort of family ones, but they're ingrained within my very persona, I think. So the original Hocus Pocus. And then the classic sort of slasher horror series. Friday the 13th, The Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Hellraiser. Now, I broke my leg a few years ago and I managed to get hold of all the movies of those series that were out, and I watched all the Friday the 13th, all the Nightmare on Elm Streets, all the Hellraisers, and it was a great and horrible summer. And I'd watch them in the cold light of day as well, so no chance of being spooked. But classic special effects, I love old school film camera techniques, like seeing how they can make the same story different for 10 bloody movies. It's like, there's some of them are so camp and over the top. Oh man, like, and Friday the 13th, like you see Jason in the hockey mask, he doesn't wear that till like, I think the third one. The second one, it's just a man with a bag on his head, with a hole in the bag. And of course, if you watch them now, something seems so dated, so it can make you chuckle. But even then, some of it is still so well done, it's nauseating and horrible and spooky and scary. But those movies are just a lot of fun. I'll tell you about a movie that I did not have a lot of fun with. Now that is Paranormal Activity, the first one. Couple of friends went to the cinema to see it when we were at uni. Yeah, it shit us up. But the thing is, that is just a lot of jump scares. Like, I think if you jump scares are cheap, if you put a cat in a box and it's like in a dark box and you go boo, the cat will jump. It's a natural reaction. But that happened to me a lot in Paranormal Activity, just the first one. I think that I didn't know what I was in for. Then when it came, I think I watched the next two in the cinema with friends, and it was Halloween night and the cinema's packed out. God, they were some fun experiences. Paranormal Activity 2, in the middle of the film, it went really quiet, that's how it was going to happen. Somebody put the Ghostbusters theme on their phone, made everyone laugh. And you're never going to believe this, somebody later in the film had a rape alarm. They pulled the rape alarm and lobbed it down the cinema. It went quiet beforehand and someone pulled a rape alarm, lobbed down the cinema. Everybody shit themselves. That was a lot of fun. But the thing about Paranormal Activity was that it was after the film. The next day we met and we had a chat like, Jesus Christ, boys, were you spooked last night? And we were spooked by Paranormal Activity. My friend, I felt so bad for him. He had it the worst. He said he was so scared to the point he got up in the night to look around his room. He actually had a mouse in his room that's running around scratching. So like in Paranormal Activity, it's lots of scratching and things. So there are demons, there's pans moving, there's cupboards opening. But there's a lot of scratching and you're not sure what's going on. Then boo, then a jump scare. So my poor friend at night kept telling himself, it's not real, it's not real. There was actually something in his room scratching, making noise under his bed. Oh, so I didn't have fun, but apparently I did have a lot of fun with Paranormal Activity, jump scaring the shit out of me in the cinema. Ah, good times. Halloween movies, woo!
Boo! It's a Halloween monster. Is that being green screened?
Right, that's enough Hollywood Halloween rubbish for one day. It's all fun, all well and good. But how about we go see some real haunted locations, real hotbeds for spiritual activity here in London? I mean, London is an ancient city, thousands of years. It's before the Roman times. The dead beneath your feet anywhere you go. It's unbelievable. Let's get out on the haunted streets of London. The Tower of London. Now, while death, execution, torture and imprisonment were a big thing here, it wasn't quite as big as people thought. Only 22 people were executed in the Tower of London. It's reserved for royalty and special people, the most famous of which probably being Anne Boleyn, who was beheaded here and laid to rest within its grounds. Her spirit is said to haunt the Tower of London and the surrounding areas, so watch out next time you're here. Most of the executions that happened at the Tower of London took place at Tower Hill, just over the road. On this spot right here, Tower Hill, just over the road from the Tower of London, is where most of the executions took place. Here, people have been hung, drawn and quartered, beheaded, burned at the stake and shot by a firing squad. And now people come here to have an ice cream and make a YouTube video. There's still plenty of death to keep all the supernatural activity alive. The building behind me is the 10 Bells pub. Now, some of you might have heard of that because it's so tied up in the lore of that pathetic loser Jack the Ripper. He's said to have met two of his victims here, Annie Chapman and Mary Kelly. The pub even changed its name to the Jack the Ripper pub in the 70s to profit off his name. And when they realised that commemorating a small dick loser like Jack the Stripper wasn't a great thing to do, they changed it back to the 10 Bells. Now, spiritual activity here is rampant. Inside, outside, in the surrounding alleyways, more than just mere sightings, full-on poltergeist activity. I'm talking flying tables and chairs and smashing glasses. One of the old landlords actually said the building itself was possessed.
The spider's done weird stuff to me. Butt stuff.
Liverpool Street Station, one of London's biggest and busiest train and underground stations, and it was built on top of, you guessed it, a burial ground, but more specifically a giant pit for victims of the plague. And an underground by its very nature is tunnelling down and down into the earth, so less on top of a burial ground and more right through it. The thousands of bodies laid to rest can't exactly be getting much rest when you got half of London commuting through them. There have been plenty of ghostly sightings and lots of spiritual activity reported in the area, one of which is a man working on the tracks after hours in overalls, maybe a medieval prankster spirit emulating the living, maybe a disgruntled ex-employee, who knows? But next time you're in London, why not schedule your journey through an old plague pit? That'd be fun. Liverpool Street Station. This giant stone fortress behind me is the Bank of England. Now, it was originally the site of Christopher Lestock's church, which was a medieval church that was damaged in the Great Fire of London, but then repaired and rebuilt, but then it was demolished to make room for the Bank of England. There was also a graveyard attached to this church that was built over, but I would say it was left as a courtyard within the bank, so they did something to try and appease the dead. Now, since you're all regulars at the Bank of England, I'm assuming, you'll want to know about a spirit of note in the area that's being reported, and also in the neighbouring Bank Underground station. And that is the ghost of a Sarah Whitehead, also known as the Bank Nun. Now, years and years ago, her brother Philip Whitehead worked at the Bank of England and was caught and charged with forgery and was executed when she found out her mental state deteriorated to the point where she would come to the bank every day, hounding them for the whereabouts of her brother. And when she came in, she'd wear all black robes, hence the name the Bank Nun. Now, what makes this story even creepier is the fact there is no Sarah Whitehead on record. Did he even have a sister? Who was turning up at the bank? I've never done this before. It's a real pumpkin, nothing dodgy about it. That's impossible. Maybe if it was like bigger and the wall was longer, it'd be weaker, but this is all connected to its main support route. Jesus, I thought that'd be easy. I thought that'd be exploding. Right, well, so for embarrassing me in front of all my friends, you're going to suffer a fate worse than death, I'm afraid, Mr. Pumpkin. So this video game is Resident Evil 7. The first in the series where it's swapped from being third person, like behind a character, to first person view. So you see what that character sees, a lot less vision, a lot scarier, a lot spookier. I'm actually a fan of the other Resident Evils. I've played a lot of them, but I haven't played this one. I've seen footage of it. It looks jump scary. It looks horrifying. But I've got to do it for you guys at Halloween. Let's see how I handle Resident Evil 7. I've got to sit a bit closer than I normally would so you can see it and me and how it's going down. Oh, flipping hell. That was just unnecessary. I did not close that. Okay, this is officially horrible now. Ah, tape for the video player. Haunted house. Fucking hell. That's just childish.
Hey, what is it?
I don't want to turn around. Hello, friend. Right, so that's the house I'm in. Oh, I don't want to go down the ladder. It's just jump scare. It's just jump scares. That is so childish. Fucking hell! Childish video game making. Can I just pick up one of these 2x4s? Pick up the whole table, man. She's going to jump out at me. I'm not going to sit here and look at this.
Thank God I found you. It's me. It's Ethan.
I'm going to watch it on the screen.
Ethan?
I can use the bolt cutters as a weapon, can't I? They're a pretty heavy item. Why do I feel like she's still going to turn around? Fuck this game, man! I know you're going to jump at me, so I'm looking at the floor. Let's walk back to back so we've got 360 view for safety. He's not looking at the floor. Please look at the floor, my friend. Where's she gone? I can explore looking. What the hell? I don't want to go up these stairs. I don't want to. No. No. Yep, can we call 911? Call the Ghostbusters. Pick that up. You could bash someone over the head with a phone. I've just got 2 bottles of first aid medicine, but I don't have a weapon. Why there's banging? Why is there banging? I don't have to go back down the way I came, do I? Back into the sewer. Okay, I can hear heavy breathing down there. I don't want to walk into the pitch black. What the fuck? There's a button to scare the shit out of yourself. I guess I'm going to hold that so I can't see anything, but... What the hell? Okay, that's her walking up the stairs. I knew that was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen, so yeah. I haven't got a weapon. I haven't got a weapon. What a stupid game. I haven't got a weapon. What the shit? I haven't got... What are the buttons? R2, resist. Oh, I'm getting stabbed. R2, I'm pushing it. What's kick in the head? Wait! Yeah, punch her in the face. Oh my god, what's happened to my wife? There's a knife coming out. Am I literally just about to die straight away? I'm bleeding. What?
I can hear her. I can feel her clawing her way back inside me.
Bash your head on the wall, my love. There you go, yeah, do that. Do it about 1,000 more times. What the hell? I can heal her. Use first aid. Oh no, use first aid kit on myself. Selfish bastard. Can I use one on her? What the shit? What the hell? Oh, I've got a weapon. What's attack? R2. Hell yeah. Okay, I missed. I'm a bad shot with this axe. Oh. Oh, but now she's turned human. Okay, that's pretty sick. That's pretty demented. She just turned back to her normal self. She's going to get up and she's going to attack you with that axe. I might use that first aid kit on her. What? I just healed myself again. Selfish bastard. If you're in this situation, you wouldn't take your eyes off that zombie body. Was I? Oh, she's gone. She's gone. You don't take your eyes off them. Like this horror movie 101. I'm just going to walk around doing that. If anyone comes out, they're going to get axed in the face. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, axe, 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 axe. She's got a chainsaw. She's just chopped his hand off.
I promise.
What? Okay, I'm swinging. Here we go. Now we're cooking. I mean, it wants me walking forward with the gun out. I'm going to use the axe. Don't go up the ladder, she's going to come jumping down the ladder, isn't she? Okay, that's her. She's got a chainsaw. Axe her in the head, axe her in the head. Woo! No! Let me heal myself. Whew. This game was intense. I was feeling selfish a minute ago about using a medikit on myself and not healing her, and now I'm about to pump 39 handgun rounds into her head. Things can change quickly in the world of Resident Evil. Yep, oh dear, here she comes. What the hell? Give me 5 seconds. Yep, there we go. Yes, did it. Has he just killed her? Is that it? Fucking hell. I liked it. A few jump scares there at the beginning. Very intense. You got to be in the mood for like horror. That's not even like the other games aren't horror at all. Resident Evil, they just shoot zombies. That's like a movie horror experience. Right. Okay, if you like horror, play Resident Evil 7. If you don't, do not. Well, my disgusting demonic afterbirths, you are afraid this is where part 1 draws to a close. It's been horrible seeing you. Hopefully you've had a horrible time, and hopefully you'll join me for part 2 on All Hallows Eve, and it'll be just as horrible. May the demons watch over your nightmares. May the spirits touch your toes while you sleep. I'll see you soon. Happy Halloween. Spiders! He's spooky, he's scary, and his name is Bradley. He is spooky, he's scary, and his name is Bradley. He is spooky and he's scary, and his name is Bradley. He's spooky, he's scary, and his name is Bradley.